We're gonna bring it real. We're gonna bring it real. So let's go. Let's go.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not a great movie either. It's more in the okay zone for me. There's definitely a lot of things in the film that negates or makes other things in the MCU not make sense or things that are let down, like how Fury lost his eye. That was so.
Yeah, that part was a letdown about the eye losing. I can't deny that. Funny, but
and I think that
sad.
The other actors in the movie stole the show from Brie Larson because her personality wasn't vibrant. It wasn't the typical MCU like energetic performance. It was more of a stoic, kind of performance where she had moments of flashes of personality, flashes of little humor. I didn't need it to be a comedy. I just wanted to have fun watching Captain Marvel. And I didn't have as much fun in the movie as I wanted to. And I love Captain Marvel. I was reading that comic book when she was Ms. Marvel. I'd start reading that book in the 80s, because, And I've passed her Captain Marvel when she was Warbird, when she was Ms. Marvel, when she was just straight up Carol Danvers with no powers, And there were certain things that just didn't need to be changed. That, okay, fine, now Marvel is a woman, when in the comic books Marvel was a man. It was like, why? Did it really make that much of a difference to the story or to the character when they didn't really show Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers relationships really with anyone other than Maria? If they showed that they had some sort of rare camaraderie or something like that, or they had that moment or something, to me, it's like when they made the Ancient One a white woman instead of an Asian man. It's like, why? What you looking for?
Because I want to make sure. Oh, okay. I know it was something. It was just weird because I thought it was the same name, but her name was Alex Danvers on Supergirl. Because I thought it was Carol Danvers, but it's actually Alex Danvers. But it's weird. It's the same last names. But anyway, I enjoy Captain Marvel. I love the movie. I like everything about it. I like the mystery because I thought the one people were the villains and kind of turn around.
I didn't want to give too many spoilers. We don't want to spoil it for them.
We're not doing spoilers?
We're not doing spoilers. That's why I was very vague.
What's the point of doing this video? We ain't offering spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie by now, then it's tough titty. It's been almost 2 weeks. No, it's spoiler time. It's spoilers. If you haven't seen this video, if you haven't seen Captain Marvel by now, shame on you. It's spoilers, babe. What do you mean?
Okay, well, here's half of the video.
It's spoilers, so get ready, and he gonna put in the description spoilers here because I can't talk about this movie without releasing some information. Listen, I like the fact that we thought one group he was a villain.
That was good.
That was a good switch, and I liked it. I liked the seriousness of the character because she was kind of lost, so she was trying to find out the blank spots of her past, what was going on, and then they brainwashed her, so her character. The way she was fit what the character was going through, so I wasn't mad about that. What I liked was the supporting players around her that gave that uplifting, fun storyline. So I think everything fit to me. And I'm sorry, the scene stealers for me was definitely the black cast. I ain't gonna lie. Like when she met the best friend and her daughter, who already, spoiler alert, is saying that's gonna be the black Miss Marvel. That's what they're saying. I don't know if it's true.
She grows up to be Captain Marvel in the comic book.
That's what I'm saying.
She was the first female Captain Marvel, but when they decided to make Captain Marvel white again, they changed her name to, I think, Spectrum or Photon, because they changed her name a couple of times. And I think they're calling her Photon now, so that means that they changed her name to Spectrum.
Well, I don't know. They saying that that little girl, that's the first Marvel black superhero female. So I don't know, but that's what they're saying.
technically they got to give her powers first.
Yeah, but that's what I'm just saying what's been going on in the news. So that's what's being said.
Little girls in Black Panther don't matter now. Sure.
That's what but she don't have powers. They said superheroes. She's not a superhero.
But she's a superhero, just as much as Iron Man is.
She's not a superhero.
Is Iron Man a superhero?
I never called Iron Man a superhero. He's a hero. Superhero has superpowers. Just like I'm mad when people call Batman a superhero. He's not a superhero. He's a vigilante. He don't have powers. Arrow is not a superhero. He's a vigilante. He don't have powers. Superheroes have powers. That's why they're called super. I don't get it. Superpowers. People don't know have powers. Poor Black Widow. She's still using guns. She is not a superhero. She's a hero. She's a good guy. Not super. Get back to Captain Marvel. Great movie. Only part I didn't like was the villains. The villains to me didn't really do too much for me. Like it was no real high power action.
Well, I'm saying the Kree were boring.
They were boring. Yeah, they were boring. It was no real fight scene.
You never got to see the real Supreme Intelligence.
Right. No, it was nothing that gave me this fear of a villain in this movie. And so that was the only disappointing part. But I love...
What about the stupid parts like her on the public telephone calling outer space?
I didn't think they were stupid. I thought that was a good use of their electronics. I love the nostalgia the movie brought. Listen, the music was great.
I'm talking about, is she really dialing a spaceship from a payphone?
She used some type of thing that she had to make a transmission.
That was dumb as hell.
I didn't think it was dumb. Stop it. It wasn't dumb.
And then some of the jokes that the all of a sudden the aliens went from we're bad guys and to all of a sudden now they're ready for stand-up comedy act.
Well, they thought that she was a villain. They thought she was a villain, and she thought they were the bad guys. So now that they knew that she wasn't who she was made out to be, they were comfortable with her, and they realized, oh, she's one of the good guys. So yeah, then the jokes came in. I'm glad they did because they made the movie. That whole part from the part when she met the black girl on down, I was in tears a couple of times.
Why did she destroy the rest of the ships?
I don't know. I didn't make the movie.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm like,
I don't know.
There was a lot of stuff in there that me and my friend were like.
I mean,
you know, it's not like I didn't want a female superhero movie. I definitely wanted a
You know what made it hard for me to watch a little bit? Because it was the one scene that it reminded me of the Supergirl old movie.
Which bad scene of Supergirl?
Listen, the whole movie was bad with Supergirl, but the scene when she was caught and she was down on the ground and she was trying to get out the little mine thing they had with the woman. For some reason, that whole scene to me was cheesy as hell, and it reminded me of the old Supergirl movie when they had her locked in it and they sent her to some planet thing where she had to dig out. I was like, this is nostalgia in a bad way at this moment. Like, so that whole scene kind of lost me. Like I said, the villains to me weren't real villains. And then when what's his name showed up from Guardians of the Galaxy, the one guy, I was expecting we could have got a Nebula cameo scene right there or something. She was with him.
Or she could have actually fought him because he was super powerful.
Because it's supposed to be beforehand, right?
Yeah.
She could have actually fought him. We could have seen, that was an excellent time for us to see Gamora and Nebula at the same time standing on the ship because they were working with him at that time. I'm like, it was so many things missing that you could have added to make this movie.
Unnecessary things like, oh, now he got the idea for calling them the Avengers. Exactly.
Listen, and then calling her Captain Marvel because he kept saying, how did he get to them? I was so upset, but the cat was funny. That cat was a key. So I liked the cat. The cat was funny.
Why was Furry holding the cat and you got the other chick with the gun?
But Furry had a cat.
He's a super spy.
He always had a cat.
He's a super spy. Why can't Samuel Jackson fight?
But he always had a cat. And he's not a super spy. He's just a spy. He don't have powers.
He's a super spy.
It was nice to see the cameo appearance.
I would have been nice for Nick Fury to actually do something in the movie.
Yeah. You know, I liked the movie overall.
Let somebody else hold the cat.
So let's get to the other stuff. So did you hear about Rotten Tomatoes? The whole thing
Oh
about
yeah, they were
that.
trying to bring the movie down in advance.
Huh?
They were trying to bring her scores down before the movie even came out.
No, that's not what I'm talking. Well, you must have heard something else. So they stopped having people like me and you, outside voters, to vote on the movie because they heard they got wind that people were making all these groups and stuff to try to down the movie. So they cut off the meter for other people to vote, which gave the movie high scores. Come to find out that also, I didn't know someone who worked for Disney also works for Rotten Tomatoes, and that's the reason why they cut it off, because these same groups were also formed for DC Comics, but they allowed the meter to keep running. They allowed them to keep voting. Oh, but when it's Disney, and someone for Disney works there, cut that meter off. We're not going to have no do what they did to DC movies to us. Let's do this. So I don't like that. That's malicious. That's foul play. That's wrong, because the same bad stuff happened to DC Comics and y'all allowed it to happen. And when it happens to Captain Marvel, you turn it off so those votes can't come in to give y'all a high score. Then also the other stuff.
You mean to bring down the score?
Yeah. So also, that the negative thing that's going on is that Disney has been putting out fraudulent information, talk about the sales of the movie, that it did not make as much as that Disney claimed it did. China's already said that they don't know where Disney got those numbers from. It did not make that much money in China. So I don't know what's going on over there, what Disney is trying to do.
They want to outperform Wonder Woman.
That's what you're doing. And
the real test for Captain Marvel is going to be Captain Marvel 2.
Yes.
When they don't have Avengers Endgame as the lead-in. People went to see Captain Marvel because a lot of people went to see Captain Marvel because they were hoping to get clues about
and got
Endgame.
nothing. To me, got nothing. I don't see where.
That one scene at the end.
At the end, and that was
it
with the beacon. That was it. Other than that, that movie had nothing to give you any information about Endgame. To me,
and if Fury had the cosmic cube, well, that's why I'm saying there were certain things that happened in the movie that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
With continuity of the other things that happened.
And they showed the cat spitting it out at the end.
Right.
So I don't know, but. It was just Captain Marvel. What I will give it up to Brie, because she's trying to break that cycle of DC and Marvel. And she came out and she said, yes, I play Captain Marvel, but she said Wonder Woman is her favorite superhero. She loved the movie. She gave Gal hot praise. Gal. And so she's trying to break that mode of trying to put female against female. And I like that, but it's gonna fall on deaf ears because humans dislike negativity today.
Brie is. I think the problem with Brie as Captain Marvel is her personality can be kind of abrasive.
Yeah.
And
until Rhodes those powers.
And the way it's just like even when she's right, the way is not what you say, is how you say it. When she was saying, I want more female reporters, why we always got all these men?
Right.
That ain't how you say it. You say, hey, we need more diversity, so I'm going to make an effort to make sure there's more women included, not exclude men. We want more. You reporters are valuable too, but we also want to bring value in. This is a female-driven movie, and we want girl power.
Right.
So we want more females to help review this movie. This is how you say it.
And it was a female co-director, even though she wasn't the lead, like the lady on Wonder Woman. But Disney tried to do everything to try to make Captain Marvel. What I didn't like was the article I read was how they was trying to make Captain Marvel seem like it was so better than Wonder Woman, or trying to put it against Wonder Woman, and I don't know why. I don't understand why we want to do this. They mentioned, oh yeah, we had a female co-director. I was like, what was the point? We know that. Why did you have to make an omission? Oh, it made more money than Wonder Woman when we first came out. Okay, apparently those numbers are false from what we're hearing. I don't know.
The numbers are allegedly inflated.
Yeah.
However, but also Wonder Woman didn't have Endgame behind her. She was out there twisting it in the wind on her own thing, carrying DC by
and did very well. My ass, she sparked everyone's fire again.
They wouldn't even did Captain Marvel. Wonder Woman didn't do something.
Would not, and that's why they doing Black Widow. So let's be real. So if it wasn't for Wonder Woman, we would have not got no female heroes. It sure did.
You know, so this isn't a video about hating on, because I hate it. I hate it that there were so many people against Captain Marvel just because she was a woman,
right?
And that most likely she's going to replace Captain America,
right?
You know, because they already said she's going to be leader of the Avengers. So,
I enjoyed it.
There's a lot of fanboys in their feelings that are racist and prejudiced and sexist, you know, that are very loud online. And when I see those types of videos, I immediately block them and get rid of them.
Back to the movie real quick before we end it, because this is well over 5 minutes. I don't know why he told y'all 5 minutes.
Because I'm about to do it again with a 5-minute quick review, non-spoiler. So this is now a spoiler video.
Oh, so we doing another one? Or you doing another one?
Either or.
We doing, okay. Well.
Because I really want, if a person just wants to know quickly, you know, whether it was a good, bad.
Gotcha.
That's why I got my timer here. I will do that one within 5 minutes.
The man got shot at the end of the movie. They made it like he was going to die, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I was a little lost about that part. That part, I was so lost.
This is the problem with Captain Marvel, and that's why I say it's not a bad movie. It's just not a good movie either. It's just a mindless. You know, we're gonna have an action film. You know, just having to be a female. Like, some people were like, well, where's her love interest? I'm like, Captain Marvel didn't necessarily need love interest for me. If you read the comic books, she was dating War Machine, the black guy. They ain't gonna do that.
No,
they ain't gonna do that. They're not gonna go there with Captain Marvel to show her hooking up with
Don
Cheadle. That ain't happening.
No.
You know, but I thought
we would like it to happen, but
I felt like she had good chemistry with Jude Law. I felt like they were flirting from the time the movie started. Even to that last little fight where she blasted him.
Oh, that scene was everything.
You know.
He was like, fight me without your power. She was like, psh, psh, bah. I'm so glad she did that. I don't owe you
And
crap.
actually, I like that part too. But I'm saying her and Jude Law had chemistry.
But even his villain character was dialed back.
But the other thing is, they also had an ambiguous relationship with Maria. So there's a lot of people saying, if you're gonna make her a lesbian, just pull the triggers. You're lesbian or what?
I thought that was a little lesbian love there.
Because I mean, well, she had the lesbian haircut, and was she in flannel when that scene started? But I'm just saying, they had all these pictures together. No men nowhere to be found. You know, they're raising this daughter together, and they was in this house. And why Carol has a family? So why does she have, you know, all her stuff, you know, she's saving and like...
It did seem like a lesbian relationship, didn't it?
And so it was like, you know...
Which we don't mind. We're not saying it's bad because I love their chemistry. Their friendship made me cry a couple times in that movie, I ain't gonna lie.
I'm just saying that I just felt like, you know, there were people that, like me, I don't care. But I'm saying the criticism was from lesbians... If you're going to give us a lesbian superhero, make it a lesbian superhero.
And stop playing.
You know, if you're going to make if you want to straddle the fence, is she with Jude Law? Is she with Maria? What the hell's going on? The other thing I didn't like, and this is the reason why I think her and Maria had a lesbian relationship, and I was actually pretty pissed off about this change. In the comic books, the little girl grows up to become Captain Marvel, the first female Captain Marvel superhero. Now, there's scenes in the book where she's talking to her mother and father. Her father's a firefighter. She was not raised by a single mother. This narrative that you keep pushing, that there's no black love and there's no strong black families.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, the only reason to make her a single mother, other than racist ones, is that they were raising her together as a couple. You know, but I'm like, I'm missing black love in cinema, media, TV. Every time we get a TV show, most of the time, not every time, but most of the time, single mother, single father, broken families.
Like Black Lightning.
That pissed me off too. That's why I'm watching show more. I'm like, well, and it's boring. But my thing is we need to celebrate black love. You can have single mothers, you can have single fathers, but the scales have been tipped in the other direction, way over the. They don't show black people in a successful relationship unless it's interracial. So that was my beef with it. I'm like, in the comic books, she has a mother and a father. They're together. She was raised in a two-parent home, and they loved each other. It wasn't dysfunctional at all. She loved both of her parents. So to take one of her parents away, the only explanation is they were a lesbian relationship, which I would be fine with. But like the lesbian said, y'all ain't pull the trigger. So I wanted to just put that out there that we need more black love in cinema.
You're very passionate about that too. Like, you just spoke with so much passion.
Yeah.
I liked it. You was banging the table every time.
When we do our soap opera reviews and stuff, what do we talk about?
We talk about this. We talk about this.
it.
We are advocates for it. More black
Love.
Come on.
It doesn't mean there can't be interracial relationships. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean there can't be single mothers, single fathers. It's like, it's too, if you look at the scales are like this when it comes to depictions of black families. You know, otherwise it's all drugs.
Gangsters, and cheating,
jail and crazy stuff.
Yes, crazy stuff.
There's no functionality in the black community if you don't know black people and you only go by media, and TV, newscasts, all that. You would think that there's no such thing as black women and black men loving each other, but yet all these black people out here.
Well, it also looked like in the movie.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, in the movie, it also looked like what I got. Also, maybe Fury liked her, and
I didn't get that.
I got that, especially when it was in the
I got a friend
spaceship.
zone vibe.
I got Fury liked her too.
You mean
in the
Maria
spaceship.
or Captain Marvel?
I'm talking about Fury liked the black chick when they was all in the spaceship together. They were like one
I
family.
definitely didn't get that.
I like that. So I don't know, but.
They ain't never gave Fury a love interest in the last 20 years.
Well, that's true. Oh, well, that's true too. So,
or is it 10 years?
I don't know, but tell us what you thought about Captain Marvel. You know, let us know what you thought about it.
This was a long ass spoiler review.
It was,
but I think I just had to get my point out there.
You did. You got it out there.
I had
you got it out there. I ain't mad at you.
So there were things I liked about Captain Marvel. There's things I didn't like. There's things that didn't make sense. There's things that screws up timelines all over the place.
Well, if you were a Rotten Tomatoes scale right now, we get in on this. If you were the Rotten Tomato meter, what would you give it?
What is their scales? I
100% or they go out percent?
I would have gave it a 70, like satisfactory.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was a satisfactory movie. I just hope they fix in part 2 because they won't have Avengers Endgame supporting it this time around. So they need to fix the things that people are complaining about, and please have her in the present.
I would have gave it about 75.
Pretty much the same thing.
Maybe 80.
You know, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, 75.
Would you watch it again?
Yeah, definitely would. I would watch it again.
Would I watch Captain Marvel again? I would only watch Captain Marvel again if I was with people who wanted to see it. Or it was like, you know how I had my game nights and stuff. And
I wouldn't go back to the movie theater and see it. I would, unless what you're about to say is some friends invite me. Oh, I would definitely go see it again in theaters if that happens. But to go out on my own,
theaters again.
To go out on my own, I wouldn't do it again. And if you haven't saw it on theaters, if you get to the end part of this movie, about this video, and you haven't seen it in theaters, it's not worth 3D.
Oh, go to the matinee.
Just go to the matinee, yeah.
You be good.
And don't see it. It's not a 3D movie. I'll let you know now. It was a waste. Glasses on my face for no reason. Other than that, thank you all for tuning in to this video. We love you all. And
we're going to do this quick 5-minute review. Cool. For real this time.